There's this thing that society tries to shove down all our throats, which I call the born this way mentality. You know that stupid pop song? Oh baby, I was born this way. Well, that's what society wants you to believe about just about everything about your being is, oh, you were born that way. Well, there's kind of a problem with that. And by the way, this is like for everything. It's for your how you are psychologically, it's for your personality, it's you're introverted or you're extroverted, if you're good at math, you're not good at math, if you're good at business or you're not good at business, etc., etc. All things that can totally be learned and totally be improved upon, but society wants you to believe, or at least the mainstream propaganda machine would like you to believe, that you are born this way, that you're born this way, that there's nothing that you can do about it because it's just coded into your genes somewhere, and there's a specific gene that you have that's like the bad at business gene. And so you're going to be bad at business for your entire life because you were born that way. Or you were born to be a failure at love, or you're born to be whatever. You're born with your level of intelligence, and there's nothing that you could possibly do to change it. That's what society wants us to believe, and I think that there's something sinister behind that, by the way. I think that the propaganda machine, which includes the governments, the school systems that the governments control, the media, at least the legacy, the mainstream media, some parts of alternative media right now, like podcasts and YouTube channels and all this alternative media is getting really big. Well, the existing legacy propaganda machine is doing its best to take over control over the new media that's coming out. It's just very difficult for it to do that because it's hard to keep up. They have to figure out like who are people actually listening to and what people are listening to what influencers, and there's so many influencers that it's very difficult for them to control all of them. And if an influencer becomes controlled and starts spouting the same corporate government garbage that people are hearing on the TV and all the newspapers and all the legacy media, well, people are just going to stop listening. So alternative media is very effective. It's not perfect. There's some that's compromised for sure, but alternative media is doing a really, really good job. But the point is that the mainstream propaganda mechanism, which is all coordinated, you may have noticed, right? There's a certain guy that was just elected president of the United States that they all hated together in exactly the same way. They're all coordinated. They're all trying to push the same thing on you. Well, they definitely want you to believe that you're born this way with whatever it is that they're talking about, because if you're born this way, then there's nothing that you can do about it. You're stuck. And so if the thing you're born with happens to be something that is not so favorable, well, then you're completely helpless. And people who would like to control you, frankly, like that you are helpless. They want you to feel helpless, because then what do you do? What do you do if you're helpless? Well, you need the big, powerful government or corporations or whoever. You need somebody to come save you, because you can't save yourself. So you need somebody to do it for you. You can't, if you cannot be successful in business, if you cannot be successful in your relationships, if you have a low IQ and there's no possibility of raising that, so you can't get into the good colleges and you can't access the things in life that you would like, well, what are you to do? Well, you just accept your crappy job as a McDonald's burger flipper or a taxi driver or whatever, work that same crappy job for 50 years, never look up and think, maybe I could do something better. And then you look to the government and say, or the trade unions, and you say, hey, well, maybe big Mr. Government, maybe you could just like raise the minimum wage. Please raise the minimum wage to $15. I just want to make $15 an hour. If you can just raise it to $15 an hour, please. And so you're groveling at the feet of these institutions that despise you, by the way, in case you weren't aware. You're groveling at their feet, and then you will accept any humiliation in return for your stupid $15 an hour, when, if you would just take matters into your own hands, you could be making a heck of a lot more than $15 an hour. Seriously. So that's some food for thought. My video is about to run out here, but when you hear, oh, you're born this way, oh, it's coded into your genes, my advice to you is to